Hello and welcome to the Schwartz Advisors Report. I'm Emma Henderson with Aftermarket News. With me today is Curtis Draper, a partner with the Schwartz Advisors. Hello, how are you?
I'm good, Emma. It's great to be with you today. I appreciate the opportunity to talk.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have a lot of topics that we are going to be touching on today. So M&A, mergers and acquisitions, definitely one of the hot topics. So much of the M&A activity in the aftermarket is focused on distribution, but M&A among manufacturers is actually alive and well, is it not?
It is. It's quite alive and well. Consolidation in any market tends to involve key parts of the supply chains. So anywhere there's synergies or market pressure for innovation and cost savings, consolidation is a natural part of a business strategy. And so certainly that's the case in the aftermarket. We've seen for decades, there's been consolidation at multiple levels and points in that supply chain. And certainly this includes the manufacturer service provider segment of that.
And who is making these investments?
Yeah, great question. We see two types of investors interested, particularly in the supplier segment. One are larger, more successful strategic players, people that are already in the space and active, and the other is the private equity-based players that are active in M&A and find this particular segment of the market attractive. We have constant conversation with both groups of these types of investors, and they both have a strong interest in M&A and a successful M&A. And we kind of find two types of strategic buyers when we find people. The first one is we find interested buyers who know they'd like to buy something, but they often haven't fully figured out what their strategy is, and they're still sometimes trying to figure out what's the measurable outcome they're after. With these types of players, they can invest a lot of time and money, but sometimes be disappointed in achieving their desired results. Now, they learn as they go. Some people get smarter and move and find where they're getting to. Others sort of want to dabble and do something, but they don't really know where they're going, which is problematic. The most successful strategics enter with a clear and comprehensive growth and differentiation approach. They have a good idea about where they're headed and what they want to do. And then they seek M&A that delivers results and support that blends with other parts of their initiative to yield the outcomes they want. So they have a clear path of where they want to get to, and then they look for how can M&A help blend into that broader strategy to get the results. PEs, on the other hand, if we talk about the non-strategics, look, they're usually very focused and have a refined and proven set of purchase parameters, and that's linked to a pretty robust investment thesis in their chosen platform. So by the nature of the beast, they're good at strategy and good at sort of having a clear set of parameters about what are they looking for and how it's going to be successful.
So I am curious if you have any advice for any manufacturers looking to acquire.
Yeah, I say for sure do your homework before you invest an inordinate amount of time and money. And that really starts with locking down near and medium term objectives and strategies, and then see how, and frankly, if an M&A initiative can get you there faster with less risk. So it's got to be very purposeful. There has to be clear criteria that you set along this path. And then the secondary part of that, which is equally as important, is you have to invest in talent that understands how to search, research, evaluate, and execute deals. It's a critical key competence and skill set. Winging it is not something we recommend. We do see companies do that. The success rate is not good. And so that would be number one thing. Do your homework have a plan. I'd also say the companies that I've worked for and the boards that I've been on have done things in this way. They've been very purposeful in the strategy, and they've also ensured they had the right M&A competencies, either that they possessed and in some case invested in and built, or they subcontract that to somebody that has the competency. And what's resulted from that are some tangible profit growth. Some have grown as much as 3x in revenue and margins in a relatively short period of time through an M&A based strategy. Oh, there's one thing I want to add to that, and I don't want to forget about, but it's effective integration. It's one thing to search and find and do a deal, but to bring it across the finish line, you also have to make sure that you execute from an integration standpoint. And again, the best companies we see invest some of their best talent at that point where you're doing the integration. There's always people involved in that. And so the dealing with people and people issues in the right way and proactively helps ensure a smooth transition and keep things on a positive path, as opposed to sometimes what can be a troubling path, which because of degrees of uncertainty that go on during those situations.
And how about this? What is the M&A outlook for manufacturers in the near term?
Well, my opinion, I think my partners here at Schwartz Advisors would say there's going to continue to be significant M&A activity in the supplier manufacturer space. And I think it's going to be for decades. The fact the industry itself continues to consolidate is a catalyst for that to happen in all parts of the supply chain. So I think for the companies that do their homework, ensure they utilize the proper skills, there's serious business opportunities for enhancement that are out there. And I'd say, change creates opportunity and it creates risk. And I think M&A is a form of change, and it's a natural occurrence in a consolidating industry. And I also think the aftermarket and automotive in general is not unique to that. It certainly takes place almost in every industry you can think of and continues over time.
Gotcha. Well, thank you, Curtis, so much for joining us. This has been the Schwartz Advisors Report with Aftermarket News. I'm Emma Henderson. Have a great day, everyone.